Hi guys, Big Al here. Welcome back to my channel. On today's show guys, we're going to be doing an unboxing on my channel for the first time. So I chose a fragrance because I think it's a cracking fragrance. It's one of these, just sophisticated, classy. And I think I need to share it with you guys out there. And we'll have a quick chat about the fragrance and to see what the strengths are, what situations you can use it for, and good stuff like that. Because I think you have this in your collection for them special occasions when you all go out. I think this is one that you'll be glad to have in your arsenal when you go out and you start hitting the town. Right, so let's go with the show. Today we're going to be unboxing Dior Homme 2020. That's the outside of the box. It's got a nice sleeve on the outside. There's a picture of the fragrance that's inside this box. So it looks a nice box bottle on the outside of there, look. On the bottom there, you've got all of your batch codes, your barcodes, all the good stuff to authenticate your purchase, guys. So always check that. Okay, so that's the outside of the box. Okay, and I think quite smart looking packaging, and I say it's got the embossed logo still on the front here, and the lettering does stick out. It's just a plain box really, but a bit blingy. Okay, anyway, let's bad boy out this box and show the bottle off. Now guys, before I show you the rest of this bottle, I have a quick disclaimer to make. Most of my bottles, well all my bottles to be fair, have all been used because I don't buy them to sit on a shelf. They get used regularly. So this was no exception. So although it's an unboxing today, my purpose for doing this was for any new people out there who are starting to collect fragrances. It's important to notice what the box looks like before the purchase it so they can recognise it's authentic and they're not being ripped off by, some unsavoury people out there. So this is why I wanted to be first unboxing, to show people out there who are not used to doing this, what to look for, the bottle box looks, and I think it's a wise thing to do to check the batch codes, serial numbers, anything like that, just to make sure it's okay. So then, this is the bottle that's inside. As you can see, we use quite a bit of this, and as I said before, guys, this fragrance, right, it oozes class. I mean, there ain't nobody I've seen on the, the designer market side of fragrances who produce like an atomizer, the tube that goes inside this bottle here. They're all little thin things, and this one's massive, but it also stands out. There's nothing else like this on the market. So to be honest, unique. Okay, let's just put this down for 1 second. Right there. This is where the controversy comes in, guys, because the fragrance I just showed you came out in 2020, and it was supposed to replace the old variation of it, and everybody in the fragrance community anticipated an updated version of the classic that came out in 2004. So the 2004 note had the note of Irish in it, which was controversial to some people because it gives off the impression if you was to go into your missus's handbag, searching for nail clippers or whatever, and as you open the makeup bag, you get that smell of the lipstick and all the powders and stuff in there, and that's what there's part of the fragrance smells like. But with the other notes that go with the original fragrance, it was groundbreaking at the time. There was nothing out on the market like this. So all the fragrance enthusiasts all over the world, basically. Fell in love with this fragrance. And it became like a cult following for this fragrance. Even today, it's a divided argument about this new one I'm about to show today and the old variation. Now, you can still pick up the old variation if you're interested in stuff like this. You'd have to go on the Dior Homme website, Christian Dior, and you'd find the original, Dior Homme, and that has got the note of Irish in it. But this one hasn't. This has got lots of different notes in it, and they've left the note of Irish out of it to make it more mass appealing because of the makeup as well attached to the original. Some people was put off because of that. And to be honest with you, if I was to be honest, when I first purchased this fragrance, and I had a bottle of the Valentino Homo Intense, and that's also got Irish in it. And when I first smelt it, part of me wasn't sure whether I liked it or not because of this note of Irish. Seemed to go against everything that, it was me really. It was a bit more old school about different stuff. So this was like a new smell I've never smelt before. And the more I smelt it, the more I kept going back for it. So I actually do like the note of Irish in these fragrances now. And at one time I didn't. But I purchased this 2020 version um, because I wanted to see if it was like a more modern take on something that would suit me more than the one with the Valentino one that I bought because that had got Irish in it. And I love that fragrance. So, it's one of my favourite fragrances now. But when I bought this 2020 version and it hadn't got the note, I kept thinking to myself, I wonder how this actually is going to play out on my skin and smell and, you know, give me the impression that it's going to be something like a future classic, it's a modern take on it. And this is what I was hoping it would be, to be honest. And I'm glad to say, from my perspective, in my humble opinion, I absolutely love this fragrance, you know. And I don't think there's anywhere, we all have our times in our life where we have special occasions come along. Whether it's wedding, christening, going to one of your kids' graduation when they leave college. There's something out there for everybody when you need, or you've got to be dressed up a bit smarter, put a suit on, a jacket on. This is the idea of wearing this jacket today. This would be no good with a pair of jeans and t-shirts because, it's not fit for that purpose. You might as well go and get a cheaper bottle that suits that purpose for other occasions, like a Boss bottle or something, because, you won't want to wear that to a high-end restaurant or one of these special events. Because I'll tell you what with this, if you walk into a room smelling this, you're walking amongst your equals. People won't look down on you because you feel like you're out of place because of the fragrance you're wearing. You'll be as good as anybody there. And I honestly believe that. If you've got any important business meetings coming up, if you've got the big cash deals coming up and you want to try to land a big cash deal, go in the meeting as one of the equals, not something to look down on you, to feel like you're made a place. And this fragrance does it easy. You know what I mean? And I'll tell you what now, guys. I'm going to show you some of the features about this bottle now. And you can't tell me, if this was sitting on your shelf or in your cabinet at home, you'd look cracking inside of a fragrance cabinet, this stuff. This is absolutely fantastic. Look at the style of this bottle. There's nothing else compares to these. They are the top end. And Christian Dior fragrances, I am a big fan of these, to be honest with you. I wasn't sure with Stone because the artist now, but he's won me over, to be honest. So, let's take the top off, show the Atomizer. Standard Atomizer look, but probably one of the best ones in the business. Now check this out, guys. What's this for a spray? Oh. Yeah, yeah. You put this on, guys. You know, in fact, I'm smelling good tonight. So, guys, this will stink of this stuff now. You know, and I won't feel out of place walking in Mark Alpier White's restaurant or anything like that now wearing this. You know, you're fitting like a treat. And everybody around you thinking, what's he wearing? That's really nice. So I do believe that this fragrance, to me, is better than what a lot of people are making out. Some of the reviews on YouTube, the big hitters if you like, they was all against it at first, and like some have started to come round. And I'm actually in the United States, and Jen Sense, he's one of the top reviewers, and when he first melted, I watched a lot of his videos, and I think he was against it when he first came out, if my memory serves correct. But his later videos, I think it started to win him over, and he sees this now as not the replacement for the original one, but something else on its own. I think that's the best way I could encourage anybody to look at this fragrance. Just see it for what it is, a fragrance on its own from the same company, the same name, but it's just going miles different. So, let's tell you about some about the notes in this fragrance, right? In the top notes, you've got bergamot, pink pepper, and elemi. Now, I've got to be honest with you, I don't know some of these notes because I'm not familiar with some of these. There's something in one of the fragrances I was smelling earlier, on one of my different fragrances I got, and there was a note in there that was too me because I couldn't work out what was in it. But there's something that was, you know, trying to trigger my memory to think what it was. I think it was one of the woods in there. But this was talking about another fragrance, but it's the same thing here. There's things in here I'm not familiar with. I think for most of us, we know. I've got a notepad in front of me here. And the only reason I know about these notes is because I'm reading them to you. Because I've researched them before I came on here. And I think most YouTubers do the same thing. And they've all got their own way of, you know, researching. And they've probably got the prompters behind the screen and different stuff. And that's fair play to them. You know, I'm not knocking anybody. That's how they portray, you know, the way they want to portray that channel or their channels. With me, I'm trying to get back to basics. You've got a microphone, you know, and this is one take. I'm sure there'll be a few speech errors in there because just my second video, but I'm staying in, you know, because I want it to be real. And I am real. I do make mistakes, so I do, you know, slightly pronounce things differently sometimes, but that's me. And I can't change the way I'm trying to be, so hopefully it's coming across to you guys as being genuine. And I think sometimes I'm not one for all high-tech gadgets and, you know, fancy graphics and stuff like this. You know, at my age, I'm probably too long in the tooth to learn too much of this stuff. But I'm quite happy sitting in front of this camera, you know, hoping to tell them from me to you, right, my experience with this fragrance. And this fragrance, it'll last quite a few hours on your projecting, the first couple of hours, you know. And if you apply it all in your pulse points to your neck, wrists, back of your neck. Again, I mentioned this on the first video. If you're going anywhere and you want to make an impression, you want to smell nice when you get there, you can try and trust the longevity and the projection of this fragrance before you get there. If you're travelling in a car to get there and it's going to take you half an hour, it's not going to smell like it was when you first put it on. You know, you're going to be probably way into the mid part of the fragrance, and some part of that fragrance might not be the fragrance that you feel like you're about to enter that restaurant or that meeting. And so let me just show you something I have in my collection as well. It's some of these little things here, these little bad boys. These are little atomizers you can buy off eBay. Only a couple of quid, you know. So they're very dear, and the glass thing at the front here shows the level, and it's got the bottom part here. You take the cap off I don't think you'll be able to do it with some of these ones, but some of your other fragrances you can, and I'm not sure whether you want to risk taking that off. But sometimes you can buy, there's like a cap that fits over here, and it's got like a tube, and you hold your new atomizer, a different one to this, and you squirt the juice in that way. So you can buy them, and you can buy different style of atomizers to this. And the idea with things like this, you can fill that, or one like it, or you know, that one to fit that cap, and then you can keep that in your pocket just before you get there. And if you're about 5 minutes away, 10 minutes away from your venue, just give yourself a quick spray just when you get out of the car. And by the time you walk to the building, you'll be getting that magic feeling when you're walking, because that's when your fragrance it is best. Well, I think anyway. I think that's the opening of this is really fresh. You know, it's quite aromatic. It's got isoe super in this, you know, in the base, and that's like molecule one. It's designed to amplify your fragrance that you're wearing. You know, so if you put it on before you go in, this is where the things like the molecule one, now it'll project it better. So when you first walk in for them first 2 hours, you know, you'll be rocking it, and you'll be giving it that meeting, restaurant, occasion, whatever you want to call it, and you'll be doing yourself a good favour by wearing something like this Dior Homme 2020. So, little tip from me, if it helps and you think that's good advice, then take it with you, keep it in your pocket, apply before you go in. You know, give 5 minutes when you're just round the corner, walk into your venue. And if not, if you're one of the guys who likes to smell the dry down and stuff, that's fair play. There's nothing wrong there. It's personal choice for me, you know. So we're all different. And I'll say if you prefer to see how long this lasts on your skin from start to finish, I understand that. And if you expect you want to eat, you've got a right to wear it, how you feel. And so, to be honest with you guys, um, I think it's a good addition to my collection. And I hope I've convinced you to uh, keep it in yours. Now, I checked the price out for this today, right, before I started filming this. And in the UK, right, it's on Notino, and it's on just over £65. But then you'll have to add on 3, 4 quid for your postage and packaging, right? But it is worth it. And you consider a lot of people are buying these fragrances for £200-300 uh, a shot, you know, and some of these are out of my price range, to be fair. Um, I'm not going to start getting in debt for my love of fragrance. It has to be coming under a budget. So, you know, if you've got the funds in your deep pockets to pay the £200 or £300 for these fragrances, fair play to you, that's great. But if you ain't got that, and you're like yourself, you have got a budget, there's plenty of options out there for us to choose from, guys. You know, and on this occasion, we're looking for something classy, smart. You know, I couldn't praise it high enough, to be honest. You know, and I just think, and I'm sitting here thinking about it now. You know, if I had the Dior Homme, the Dior Homme original, I wouldn't be disappointed with that neither. But then for two different purposes, you know. Yes, you can dress up the Dior Homme, and you can dress up fragrances like that. Plenty of occasions for doing that. I wouldn't say you couldn't do that, but I think there's still a place, you know, in that field for both fragrances, and you could still rock it like. And I bought my fragrances when I first started. I wanted to get about a month's worth on for every day, because I wanted to smell something different every day. And I kept watching all these YouTubers who were doing fragrance reviews, and I would see thousands of bottles in their fragrance collection, you know. And you think, these were started off like me once, and they've built up their collection. And he's me, I'm, you know, still collecting. It's ongoing, but it has to come under my budget. You know, I'm not willing to go and start getting into too much debt for, you know, fragrances. I love fragrances. People who know me, I'm a fragrance enthusiast. You know, I love watching YouTube videos. And to be fair, the YouTubers I have watched all through the coronavirus pandemic in the UK, we had the lockdown, as most people know. And these people helped me get through the lockdown where we couldn't go out. And you turn on the TV and these people were there. And they became more like household names in my house. I didn't watch much TV, but I did used to watch all these fragrance reviews because I collected a few myself at the time. And I wanted to find out what they know about the next fragrance I wanted to buy. And if I'm learning how to put these videos together now, I didn't realise how much work was involved. And so I have a massive respect for all YouTube, whatever subject you're covering. You know, I do really respect the work that you're doing now because I realise how much you have to put into just try and get numbers up. So, guys, I'm going to call it a day on that, right? Um, yeah. Don't forget to share, like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and then let's see if we can get some conversation started. Okay, guys. Thanks very much. See you on the next one. See you guys.